Come on. Oh. Hello, everyone. It's Charlton. All right. Oh, man. So, Vegas body cam footage, and I haven't watched barely any of it except the important parts, and I've seen other people's videos, and everyone else has done a lot of good stuff, really, in terms of just watching through it, finding the various characters that we all want to see. Jesus Campos, Schuck, and stuff like that. I have only one question, and I don't know. I mean, just to give some props, man. Sleep Debt Vegas. Yeah, this is full on Jesus Campos. You're the only one who found this. I don't know if you had to look through several hours of stuff to get to this, but you got him. Nailed it right there. And I did use this, and just thinking of over things as well as NSERV. You had and Weg Og basically chronicled everything. A ton of work, and I know lots of people are putting in a lot. I mean, I've seen the detailed research of going through transcripts, UFO Hunter UK, everybody, man, even JB, who I watch, every time and listen to his most recent video about the sniper theory. I hadn't heard that one before. I'm gonna get to my point in a second. And I continued, even though I believe it was just Paddock and all that. That has always bothered me as well. Why did he stop? Why did he stop shooting? And I don't have a super satisfactory answer for that. I mean, I basically was saying in my last video that you see the crowd dispersing. There's just nothing to shoot at anymore, and his whole plan had just been foiled, and it was over. And that's why he stopped and shot himself. That's not the greatest explanation, but it was the best one I could come up with. And basically any other, I kept thinking that the hotel or somebody, law enforcement, somebody took him out. But I kept thinking, why wouldn't they want us to know that? Why wouldn't they'd be screaming that from the rooftops and telling us how good of a job they did by taking him out so early? That would have been pretty quick. In 10 minutes of the firing begin, shooting him down, that would have been exemplary, I would think. In terms of locating him and everything. I digress. So, of all this new stuff that came out, there's just one thing, and again, you all probably know that I basically think Paddock did it. That really all these things going on is really about the hotel trying to minimize their legal liability because of the lawsuits that would be just forthcoming, are coming. Are in the process. So, the only problem I had, the question I still do, in Jesus Campos, that's who I'm focusing on. I have no problem with this individual. In fact, I think he probably really did. If what we're told is true, he absolutely saved. He did, because it would have, if things. All right, I'm going to get right to the point. I'm about to get rained out, and It's just one thing that Jesus Campos says here. I have zero problem with this individual. It's quite possible that everything that's it's all on the up and up. And it's just a huge question though that I have, that just of all the stuff I've seen to date, this remains very puzzling to me. And so I'm not trying to trash him or pile on. Just might be an innocent mistake. I don't know anything about guns or firearms or any of that. So I would say something silly like that, or that just doesn't. Let me get to the point. The point is when he's approached by this officer here, and I'll play it for you, and it's the Las Vegas Review-Journal's video, and everyone's got all these videos. I already went through, what all the work everyone's doing, and this is obviously, a major news source, especially on this topic. But when the officer approaches him, he says, "What were you hit with?" I believe that's the word he uses. And he says, "A pellet or a .22. And that's the thing I'm examining here. And I just don't get it, man. It just is shocking to me. I just don't understand. Because initially, when that report came out, right, and that was in one of the police reports that, I think they used that to explain why they didn't call 911 first, because the initial report to security headquarters of the Mandalay Bay was that, he was shot by a pellet gun, and so that they sent armed security supervisors up to the 32nd floor to verify that it was a shooter, an active shooter, before calling, 911. And they also called an EMS or an ambulance first before dialing 911. Okay, but I had thought it was just common sense to me that they kind of came up with that explanation, or that explanation was given after the fact, when police were doing interviews the days following the incident. So, but this is minutes after the incident, I think at 18, 10:18, I believe. The date's off on the timestamp, but I believe it's 10:18. So it's 2 minutes after the shooting stops, if the time is correct, and if my information is correct. And he says, what did he hit you with? And he says, I don't know if it was a pellet gun or a 22. And I'll play that, but
I don't know. I don't know if it's a pellet or a 22 or it's been multiplied. We have access to it.
The room's at the end of the hallway, and apparently he was saying they put a bracket on the stairwell door. It's definitely on 32. And it's you look down the hallway, the last room doors.
The direction I'm shooting is probably the people, so look out for that. Is he shooting down this way? He was. That's how I got that. Did she kill you? I don't know. I don't know if it's a pellet or a 20.
So he says, what did he use to hit you? That's what he says. I knew I had the words off a little bit.
Did she kill you? I don't know.
What do you use to hit you?
Or a 22 or...
I don't know if it was a pellet or a 22. So again, I just don't. And here's the audio from that night, from when they're stuck in the hallway, him and Stephen Schuck. Okay, and there's the taxi cab video. There's several pieces. I mean, it's interesting. That's here's the audio that MServe have, and I don't know whose this is, like ABC or something like that. And here they have it, gunfire. Okay, because you can clearly hear like semi-automatic, almost automatic gunfire down the hallway. How could anyone possibly confuse that with a pellet gun or a 22? And again, previously I had thought that that was an explanation that was given in interviews, in the days following the incident, not 2 minutes after the incident. So, I mean, it just shows if that's not an innocent mistake, if that's not just because he just that's just what he thought, and that's possible. I mean, I might just not. I don't know anything about firearms, and maybe it's just what he thought. But if it's not, it would show that already after 2 minutes after the incident began, they were creating an explanation, or they knew that they had to come. I mean, let me play the audio.
Call the police.
How could you?
Up here. Someone's firing a rifle on the 32nd floor.
There's just no way, dude. I mean,
down the hallway.
Copy. Hey, it's on 32. Steven, get out of the way. Steven, make sure you're out of the way.
Copy.
That's automatic gunfire too. You can barely hear it quite,
Steven, make sure you're out of the way.
Copy.
Race to 106 Steven. Security wants to know if you know a room.
It's at the end of the hallway. I can't tell you what room. He looked like he fired down the hallway when I got close to the door.
Copy, so it's down to 100 hallway, correct?
Security's up here.
Where you at?
100 hallway. Don't go. Call the police.
All right, so I mean, you could clearly hear the shooting, and it's automatic, semi-automatic gunfire. I mean, it's throughout.
Someone's firing a gun up
Whether
here.
it's right in the right there, or
Someone's firing a
Know if you know a room.
It's at the
right
end of the
there. I
hallway.
mean, it's loud.
I can't tell you what.
It's,
Like
and, all right. And then there's the taxi cab video. So the Cori Langdon taxi cab video. This is first the shots fired. That's the ones out the window. But then at 45 seconds, it starts. You probably can barely hear it. That is automatic,
Yeah, it sounds like it's
semi-automatic
from,
gunfire in the hotel going down the hallway. I just don't know how you could possibly. But again, it's either it's an innocent mistake. It's very possible. All right. Oh, or what it indicated to me is that it just is shocking me that so soon already, in just 2 minutes after, they don't even know the incident's over yet. At this stage, they don't even know he's dead. Whatever. It's just the shooting has stopped for 2 minutes, but already. Because he would be if it wasn't if it was not an innocent mistake, he would have been informed to say that. He would have been told to say that. He would have said, "Here comes an officer. He's got a body camera on. You're going to be recorded. All right. We need to get this on record." And but it would indicate if it's not an innocent mistake, it would indicate that already right away the hotel is going into damage control because of something. And so why though? Why, like already, they know it all. I mean, it gets my mind spinning again, starting to think they knew about this guy ahead of time, and that as soon as this happened, they knew, oh my God, it's happening. This guy cracked, and we just didn't see it coming. And all those bags that were moved up there, somebody just put it together real quickly that, oh my God, it's him, Paddock. And they were aware. I mean, that's just my mind spinning again. But I'm just saying, it just was stunning to me to hear that said there. I thought it was just in the reports. I thought it was explanations given in interviews. To hear it said 2 minutes after the shooting had stopped, and again, he would have been told to say that. If it's not an innocent mistake, indicates they already knew they needed to start covering up. It's a mess of a video, but I got to roll, man. And you know what? I have one other. And this is just a dude who's shooting a 22, and actually it's a 22 challenge. I mean, it came right up when I was looking. Again, I don't know anything about guns. What it sounds like when you shoot a 22, and he's trying to shoot a 22 as fast as he can. It just so happens that it was right there for me. Here it is, just to hear what it sounds like.
I'll go back and put the exact time down here. So let's see what we can do. Okay, he's reading 5.1 seconds over there.
Just an example. So it was either that 22 or a pellet. I just, you heard the audio. It's just crazy, man. That could be just just doesn't know anything about weapons, man. Just like me. And he would have to look up on YouTube to find out what it would sound like. I don't know. That's the end of this video, man. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below. And I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.